One day, you'll wake up and realize you're no longer carrying the weight of everyone else's emotions, and it will feel like freedom. But what does it take to get there? Especially when you're an empath who spent years putting everyone else first. Perimenopause doesn't just bring physical changes, it's an emotional reckoning, one that often forces you to confront the boundaries you've never set and the people-pleasing habits you've held onto for far too long. For many women, this process feels messy, even unbearable at times. But it's also the beginning of a powerful transformation. As empaths, we've been conditioned to believe that being the strong one is a badge of honor. We're the emotional anchors, the ones who always make time to listen, to console, to fix. But when perimenopause hits, something shifts. The hormonal changes in your brain leave you emotionally raw, mentally drained, and unable to shoulder the weight of others' expectations. It feels like everything you thought you could handle is suddenly too much. And that's not your fault. For empaths, the emotional weight of others' problems has always felt manageable, until perimenopause changes everything. Suddenly, the smallest demands feel like mountains you can't climb. You might find yourself crying over things that never fazed you before, or snapping at loved ones without understanding why. It's not just that you're tired, it's that your emotional reserves are running on empty, and no one told you this would happen. And then there's the invisibility of it all. The world expects you to keep going, to be the same person you've always been, even as you're silently breaking. For many women, it feels like a betrayal of their own body and mind. But here's the thing. This isn't weakness. This is a call to pause and listen to what your body and soul truly need. When you've spent a lifetime putting others first, saying no feels like breaking an unspoken contract. You might hear things like, "You've changed," or "You're being selfish," and that hurts because deep down, you just want to be understood. But here's the truth no one tells you. The people who truly care about you will adapt. And for those who don't, their anger isn't a reflection of your worth. It's a reflection of their dependence on your inability to set boundaries. It's okay to grieve the relationships that shift or even end during this time. Losing connections can feel like losing pieces of yourself, but each no is a step toward reclaiming your energy, your peace, and your authenticity. The fear of letting people down keeps many of us stuck for far too long. But then something clicks. Maybe it's the realization that you're not responsible for everyone's happiness, or maybe it's sheer exhaustion. Either way, you stop caring so much about others' reactions and start caring more about your own well-being. For me, that moment came after years of guilt and self-doubt. I finally understood that my value isn't tied to how much I give, but to who I am. And you might find, as I did, that once you stop being the default emotional support system, people start figuring things out for themselves. It's as if your boundaries give them permission to grow too. Perimenopause doesn't just strip away the people pleaser. It unveils the real you. It's like peeling back layers of expectations, revealing a version of yourself you might not have known existed. This version of you is fierce, clear, and unapologetic. She's not afraid to say, "This is what I need," and she no longer measures her worth by how much she sacrifices for others. Yes, it's a painful process, but it's also one of the most powerful transformations you'll ever experience. It's not just about surviving perimenopause, it's about thriving in it, owning it, and letting it reshape you into the person you've always been beneath the surface. If you're feeling lost right now, know this: you are not alone. Every no you say is a yes to yourself. Every boundary you set is an act of self-love. And every step you take toward choosing you is a step toward freedom. This isn't the end of who you are. It's the beginning of who you were always meant to be. Take a moment to reflect today. What's one thing you'll stop doing for others? And one thing you'll start doing for yourself? Write it down, say it out loud, and make it real. And if you're ready, share your story in the comments. Let's support each other through this journey.